All right, new streaming app, and I have to iron out the kinks. What's going on, everybody? Hopefully I'm sounding all right. If someone could let me know how I'm sounding, be greatly appreciated. Just because, again, StreamYards love to mess up my mic quite a bit. And yeah, so if you could just let me know if I sound good, it'd be greatly appreciated. Good to see a lot of people in here. Good to see a lot of friends coming in from other places around the web. I also do a gaming show called Gronking on Dogs. So I've been seeing some folks in here, and it's awesome. I see we had Jack of All Casuals in here. Let me get everything up because again, I'm using Restream now instead of StreamYard. That's what I was previously used to, and so yeah, technical difficulties here and there. But I feel like I feel like I'll have the handle on Restream in just a few. So let's see. We got Wookie B Bad in here. Good to see Wookie. Good dude. Chat with him quite a lot. We got Tris. We got Boss Hog in here. We got the Jack of All Casuals saying GoBots are better. Well, actually, Transformers owns GoBots now. There's actually a GoBots set you can get. We got Larkin in here. Larkin's a great dude. Thanks for sharing out the content, man. Sandro Franco saying, bro is 17 years late. That's an insurmountable level of gayness. Yeah, it's been a long time. But yeah, it's been great coming back on the channel. I had a video go up over the weekend, a vlog, the first vlog I've ever done. And I've been getting pretty good responses on that. So thanks to everybody that checked that out. If you haven't checked it out, what are you waiting on? I went and I met Daniel Warren Johnson. If you don't know him, he is the author and writer on the Skybound Transformers run, or he was. He stepped down. He's got a new book. I believe it's called The Moon is Following Us. I want to check that out. He was a super nice dude, very, very humble. Let me go ahead and I'll share out the photo from the meetup there. That's where I met him on Saturday. Just, class act. He made time for every fan that came, to meet him. He had a long line. I was not expecting the line to be that long. But he was just very passionate about comics, very passionate about Transformers. And if you haven't read that initial run of Skybound, I recommend picking up the trade paperback because it's a really good read. He gets Prime right. He gets the core concepts of Transformers right. And the Decepticons are fucking brutal. I mean, if you've ever wanted to see Starscream squeeze a human being like a grape, well, that's the place to do so. So I got my copy signed. The one I held up, that's actually not mine. I got this for my good buddy Junkyard Crafts and Builds, who I was on Figure Action with. Mike's a good friend of mine. He couldn't be there that day, so I picked one up for him. But that was a really cool event. We get back to chat. We'll give everybody a quick shout out before we get into it. We got Fire Talks coming in saying, hey, party people. Good to see you in here, Fire Talks. Awesome 3D printer that guy is. Check out his YouTube channel. And also check out, I believe he has an Etsy shop. Fire Talks, if you're still in the chat, let me know. I'll pimp your Etsy shop out. Larkin also has an awesome Etsy shop. And if you're not already subscribed to him, you definitely should. And Sandra coming in saying, Froggy Fresh comes back and Extra Zero suddenly returns to this channel. Interesting. Yeah, the timing's interesting. And for instance, saying it sounds like Kamalo. Hey, listen, man. I grew up in a middle-class family. we'll leave it at that. But yeah, I've been doing good. Been doing really good. So I had a good week. Well, yeah, now I'm doing the show on Tuesday, so it's really early in the week. But my week started off strong. Did some training, got a certificate over the weekend. As I mentioned, I met DWJ and just had a lot of fun putting that vlog together. So again, go check that out. I think it turned out pretty good. I wish I had more time to ask him questions, but yeah. That's the Zeroed In vlog series. I'm looking forward to doing more of those, especially with TF Con coming. And we'll get into TF Con in just a little bit. I want to open up the show with just kind of like how we're going to be running things here. So it's called 0 Hour. I'm going to try and keep the show within that 1 hour time frame. There's just only so much Transformers news in a week, and you know, as I mentioned, I left Figure Action due to you know, the scheduling element. Yeah, I do want to put out more videos, but you know, just be able to have a tight 1 hour stream every week, I think works out way better for me. You know, also too, one of the things that's going to change here is, while I won't do hauls, I do have a segment that I want to do where I want to kick off the show after I tell you how I'm doing, how my week's been. I'm calling it my Toy of the Week. And this week, and actually the Toy of the Week, it's going to be basically a figure that's old, new, somewhere in between, but one that I think is worth highlighting, one that I think is worth talking about, giving a shout out, maybe one you should check out, maybe one you should dust off on your shelf. And that Toy of the Week is actually kind of a newer one. This is the G.I. Joe collaborative crossover cup. And the first three G.I. Joe crossovers were not that great. Megatron he shit the bed. Bumblebee was even worse. I don't even own that Bumblebee. The only reason I have the Megatron is because he was $40 on Prime Day. And then the Soundwave I heard okay things about, but I heard the plastic wasn't the best. I'm hoping that goes on a deep clearance, and then I'll tell my cousin, like, just give me that for Christmas. But this cup is awesome. So I've gotten out of G.I. Joe Classified, and one of my favorite Joes is Sergeant Slaughter, and apparently this is the only way that you're going to be able to get the 3 3/4 O-ring Slaughter is in this set. And it also turns into the Triple T, which is a vehicle I liked when I was a kid, but never owned. So really happy to have this. This course corrects a lot of the issues that the G.I. Joe crossover figures had. Also, you don't get cup that often. And this is a very big scale for cup. I mean, you could fit this guy in with your MPs. He is almost MP scale. Now, he's not MP aesthetics, but he scales with them, kind of. It also makes me hopeful that we'll get an official MP cup down the line, and also it makes me hope that my camera will refocus. But you know, first episode out the gate, of course, we're dealing with all kinds of technical issues, because that's just the nature of things. Let's get that on loop track. Let's get this camera situation fixed, shall we? This happened while I was in training. In the training I was in, you actually had to be on camera the whole time. They wanted to make sure that people weren't going and getting in there, running errands or taking naps and actively participating, and my camera kept doing this. But yeah, let's get him compared to a Voyager. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. So if you want a big cup to go in your collection, and maybe they should just call him, at this scale, they should just call him Goblet. But I like him. I like him. If you're looking for a figure old, new, or in between, the crossover cup is my figure of the week. Next week, I'm going to be dusting off an old figure. So maybe I'll start editing those a little bit. We'll see. We'll see as the channel evolves. But I did see, speaking of Mike, who I picked up that book for, I see he is in the chat, Junkie on Crafts and Builds. So definitely go give his channel a follow. He also does a lot in the 3D printing space. And we also got big celebrity in the house. We got Patriot Prime Reviews coming in saying good evening. And we got a very good friend of mine, Mr. Matthew Deluxe Baldwin, in here. And again, the restream is, I'm new to restream, but he's saying sounds sexy. But yeah, good to see you folks in here. And as Wookie Be Bad said, smash that like button. Yeah, coming back to YouTube. I'm trying to rebuild, and I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like. If you're not already subscribed, hopefully I earn your subscription. And if I do, ring that notification bell, because again, I'm going to have a lot of content going up around TF Con. I'm going to be doing vlogs. I'm going to be doing interviews. So there's going to be a lot going on this channel. So looking forward to seeing how it evolves and unfolds over the next few weeks. So yeah, other than Daniel Warren Johnson and TF Con, actually, well, no, let's go back. Let's talk some Transformers 1 real quick. So yeah, and Patriot Prime is right. We got 1 month to go to TF Con. I'm going to talk Transformers 1, then we're going to talk TF Con, because there's some exciting stuff coming up, especially with TF Con. All right, so let's head over to Variety. Yes, that Variety. and let's get a little update here on Transformers 1. So Transformers 1 has actually taken the top spot in China's box office. And if you haven't seen already, I also did a video on Transformers 1. I thought Transformers 1 was a fantastic film. Unfortunately, I think due to the marketing and the trailers and, you know, some reviews like IGN gave it a 5. It just isn't, it's not getting a strong start. Now, that's not blackpilling everybody, because a lot of animated movies in recent memory, be it from Disney or other companies, have had weaker starts, and then they've gone on to find success. So Transformers 1 brought in a total of $80 million in China, and Transformers is a big property over there. So I think a lot of people were expecting it to do more. Now, the one thing is about this movie is it does not open up in Europe until the 11th. I was actually on a good buddy's channel, True Pop Culture 7. Go check out his channel as part of the Legion of Memers with him. We talked the movie, and it's actually not out where he lives. He actually had to sail the 7 seas in order to watch it and review it in a timely fashion. So, yeah, I think the marketing and the global release for this, I think the time that they released it, you know, as kids are getting back into school, I think this would have done way better as a summer release. I just hope that it can at least make the money it deserves, because I want more in this universe. Not only that, we have a little bit more. We have an article from Collider, so let's get over there. And again, Collider and Variety, not sites I normally cover when it comes to news, but so per Collider, this is actually interesting. Chris Hemsworth is about to reach a Norse godlike box office milestone. So Transformers 1 may thus far slightly underperformed at the box office, earning just over $70 million in 10 days. I think it's up to $75 million. But that hasn't stopped it from edging one of its stars closer to an eye-watering financial milestone. Leading the voice cast is we all know that he's Prime in this. He has had a $14 billion gross at the box office. So he's $40 million away from hitting that. And yeah, I think he will. He'll probably be in a. I mean, he's an A-lister. He'll get there. But yeah, especially if he is in that G.I. Joe crossover movie, I hope that that's good, and I also hope that it does well. I hope that it has the same kind of heart that Transformers 1 has, because God, there's so much that can be done. And yeah, I agree with Firetox here. He did a surprisingly good job as Pax, and I have to say, Brian Tyree Henry really surprised me as D16 and Megatron. I was not expecting him to have that range, and I was not expecting him to give the evolution of the character justice, but he really surprised me there. Let's talk TF Con. So as Patriot Prime mentioned, TF Con is literally 30 days away from today. It's TF Con Baltimore. It's right in my backyard, so I'm excited. I'm definitely going to be there. I've got my tickets, got my VIP pass, and I've got my autograph tickets. And this is some really exciting news. We got three technically new guest announcements. First up, we got Doug Parker, who was not only Pterosaur in Beast Wars, but he was also Tidal Wave in Transformers Armada. We've got Michael Bell. This dude is a voice acting legend. He was numerous characters on G1. He was Prowl. He was Sideswipe. He was Swoop. He was Bombshell. I believe he was also Scrapper. He did a ton of background voices. He's been in numerous cartoons. If you watched Rugrats, he was Chaz. He was Drew. He was Lou. He was on the Smurfs, Voltron. This guy's a living legend, and I'm really excited to meet him. I didn't know he was still doing conventions because he is 86 years old. So he's somebody that I thought I wasn't going to meet. He was at that. We went to the live reading that they did earlier in the year for the 40th anniversary. And get And yeah, he was part of that live reading, but I was like, it'd be nice if he went to one of the cons. But yet, here we are. He's making that trip out. So I'm really excited to meet him. Additionally, Bumper Robinson from Transformers Animated, who was primarily the voices of Bumblebee and Blitzwing. Also, I didn't realize he did the voice of Blackout. He is going to be there. Now, for the three gentlemen I just mentioned, they don't have autograph prices listed for them yet. Cullen and Welker actually are $75 for a photo op and $75 for an autograph. So I was able to get the complete package for both. I didn't do the VIP. I thought, like, do I get, do I do it together? Do I not? I got it separate, but regardless, I'm excited to meet both of them. And I will, if Michael Bell has tickets, I will be getting a ticket from Michael Bell because I got to meet him. Got to meet him. And also, Michael Bell was the voice of one of my all-time favorite video game characters. If you've ever played Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, he was the voice of Razio. And that game is actually getting an HD remaster this December. So, I really want to ask him about the commentary track he did for Soul. I think it was Soul Reaver 2, where he played with his daughter. I always liked that. It always stood out with me. But TF Con is shaping up to be awesome. I'm really excited to see a lot of friends that I haven't seen in years and hang out with people and record stuff for this channel, just have fun. Like, TF Con is just such a fun atmosphere, and if you've never been, I think this is the one to go to. Junkion Crafts and Build saying $75 for photos, not a bad price at all. No, it's really not, especially when you consider like who Frank Welker is. I thought Frank Welker was going to be way more expensive. I mean, what I just read about Chris Hemsworth, Frank Welker is one of the top grossing actors of all time with his voice work and just all the projects he's been in. So, really, really excited to see and meet him and Peter Cullen. And also too, when you get like somebody like Mark Hamill now charging $700. I went to Star Wars Celebration 2017, and I think he was like $200 back then. I was like, that's way too much. So, I'm excited all around for TF Con. And let's see. Let's get into some news topics here. Got quite a bit to cover. First up, we got our boy JT Prime 17. Now, if you're new to the channel, if you didn't watch us on Figure Action, this gentleman, JT Prime, is a guy we talked about quite a bit. He is one of the most reliable sources of information, reliable as in accurate sources of information with Transformers. And he has leaked the new product info. The next line coming after Transformers Legacy United is going to be the Age of Primes. And I guess that makes sense considering Transformers 1 and the 13 Primes being heavily featured in that. I guess maybe that's why they decided to go that route. But we're getting, it looks like it's going to be more or less a continuation of what we were reading in the Siege, Earthrise, Kingdom, Legacy. And just kind of characters from all sorts of different continuities. Kicking it off is a Commander class G1 Silverbolt, so similar to what we got from Motormaster. We are also, this is the one that surprised me the most, because I thought, as far as Titans went, I thought we were going to get something completely different. I was expecting them to maybe do like retools, retool the Ark into the Axelon, but no, it's a Titan class Star Convoy, or in this case, they're calling it Star Optimus Prime. It makes me wonder if that little core class Rodimus is going to get reissued with him or not. Generation selects G2 Dinobots, but we're not really sure if it's going to be the core class of the leaders. I'd assume the leaders at Generation selects. Then more Walmart exclusives. Don't like the Walmart exclusives. They are bitch to find. But a deluxe Sea Spray. It says G1 retro-inspired Sea Spray. A retro-inspired deluxe Brawn. I'm guessing that'll just be a repaint of the Studio Series in more, toy colors. Then Target getting a bunch of repaints. And what I'm thinking with these, so these Target repaints, if you look, they all say Devastation. So they all say Studio Series Voyager, War for Cybertron, Optimus variant. That's the only one that's different, Optimus variant. So I'm guessing maybe like an Energon Glow, hard to say, maybe a battle damage one. a War for Cybertron Megatron variant. Then this one's interesting. Studio Series Dev Deluxe Sideswipe, Dev Deluxe Wheeljack. It makes me wonder if we're going to get cell-shaded versions of the Earthrise molds, which I think that would be cool. Also, to any attention that goes to Transformers Devastation, I know Microsoft is really trying to bring the old games back. You know, Microsoft acquired Activision, and there's been a lot of rumors and rumblings, and the games have been relisted on the stores after, you know, Activision lost the license. It seems like Microsoft knows that they've got just print money. Let's do quick and dirty HD remasters. So, you know, hard to say, but I'm pretty sure, you know, I can't recall any JT Prime listings other than like maybe one figure that was an exclusive that didn't come out. That was the buzzworthy Bumblebee Hound, which did come out in that Generation Selects pack. You know, 99.99% accuracy. So interesting to see that they're going with Superion, that we're kind of getting a repeat of Combiner Wars, because the first combiners that we got in Combiner Wars were Defensor. I'm sorry, not Defensor, Superion and Menasor. So interesting to see history repeating itself, and then we're getting that Studio Series drip feed of Constructicons. Why they won't do a box set's beyond me, but still cool stuff coming down the road, and I'm excited. Now let's get into another figure we knew was coming. It's already been revealed, but we got some in-hand shots of it, and I know there's a lot of Armada fans out there. And this kind of came out already. It came out as the a pre-tool as Shattered Glass Sideswipe, but here we have him properly in the proper colors as Armada Wheeljack, albeit he doesn't come with a Minicon. But this was a really good retool and a really good reuse of the mold. I'm surprised to see them go with clear plastic there, but I think all in all, this looks really good in hand. And for anybody collecting Armada, I think you'll be pretty happy with this. Personally, I think they should have just released this with the Minicon. But, you know, unfortunately, that's how Hasbro is these days. They don't want to include Minicons with anything, not even higher price point figures. It's unfortunate. It would be nice if they were releasing Minicons in some way, shape, or form. But that's just the nature of the beast. I'm glad at least that the figures are made well. They're using better plastic. But, you know, as MGO says, it is what it is. I hate that defeatist mentality, but in this case, it really is what it is. Go ahead and we'll move on to the next one. So we got a little bit of a curiosity piece with this one. And this was posted by the official Transformers Information Bureau over on Twitter. I'm not sure. Okay, so is this a Takara Tomy thing? I have no idea. But regardless of who they are, they actually had a video detailing something that I had looked at over on Figure Action. So this is a transforming statue. And if you haven't seen this, if you haven't heard of it, it's called the Karakuri statue, or KSO1 Optimus Prime. This thing's coming out March next year, and it's up for pre-order. It's pricey, though. This is about $244 US, or 35,200 yen. Why is this that much? Well, you can see here. I'm not impressed. It is kind of cool. It is kind of cool, but I'm not impressed for that price point. And the reason being, it's like that. Well, depending on when you bought the Robeson, this is almost a third or half the price, depending on when you bought the Robeson. Would this be a cool desk display piece if you If you had the space and you had fuck you money, absolutely. But I don't know. I like that it has lights. It's impressive, but I think it's way too expensive for what it's probably going to be. Especially given, you know, we've seen it finished. It looks very toyetic. Let me get a picture up just so you all can see. You know, if we go back in and look, you know, the way that this is, the gun here is on by default. You can unclip it, but for him to transform holding the gun, you have to leave it on in vehicle mode. I know that they couldn't engineer that to be better, but, and also just the length of time it takes for it to transform, you know, it doesn't really do all that much impressive movement wise. I think if this was under 100, I'd be interested. I think this would be like, again, like one of those, hey, I don't know what I want for Christmas, get me that. But at this price point, it's no. Junkie on Crafts and Builds comes and says that's a spicy little that's a spicy little toy money wise, yeah. But you know, and I do know people that want this, and people that don't have the space for the Robeson. And there's the argument that's been made that, well, the Robeson doesn't store well because he kind of curls up into a little ball, and he doesn't really. You have to get a separate stand in order to display him, and it's big. Whereas this is a self-transforming piece that can just sit on your desk. But yeah, I don't know. I guess probably a lot of the money went into like it being on a pedestal, so it spins as it's doing it. But yeah, and I agree with effortlessly random here. Not for me, easy pass. But hey, if you like it, it exists. I'm kind of curious to see whether this maintains its price or it ends up being like a clearance item, or if they just don't make too many of them. Let's get this pulled up just so you can see how it looks in color, because it is painted, but again, like the way it's painted, I don't know, guys. I just think that this one just doesn't have that it factor. So it does kind of look a little bit like the Robeson. I won't lie there, but yeah, we're not dealing with like Hot Toys or even like one of the Unimetal kits. As you can see, the gun's on the vehicle mode, but as far as I know, you can unclip it. It's just kind of clipping into that hand. But there you go. Let's move into something a little bit more, or a lot of it more exciting. And if I can get this to work. Apologies for technical difficulties, because restream and all. So I know there's a lot of Monster Hunter fans out there, and I know some of the gamer folk who watch us on Gronking on Dogs are big Monster Hunter fans. This actually comes from Famitsu. Now this has been talked about and covered. We knew that a Monster Hunter cross collaboration was happening. Famitsu is a big Japanese gaming publication, and you know, they were the ones that put this out. This was on display at Tokyo Game Show. And here, let's get a little translation action going on. Why is this not sharing out? There. Let's try again. Again, first stream challenges here. I apologize. So this was shown at the Tokyo Game Show that happened just last week. And let's see, where is my translate to English? Boom. And so this is Glorious Prime. It's now up for pre-order. It's going to be released next July. And this, I believe, is supposed to be a Rathalos, and also emulates the armor set on an original Prime. This is an extensive retool of the existing Air Razor mold. I think the Air Razor and Pterosaur mold. And no, Famitsu, I don't want to do. Unfortunately, not all images are created equal when it comes to these sites, how they share things out. The Rathalos mode looks great. I wish this was larger than the deluxe, because this mold is kind of on the I don't want to say it's a tiny mold, but it's not the most substantial. I can see where the money went into the paint, and I can see, you know, I can see where they did a lot of extensive retooling. I know that wingspan's probably going to be fairly large, but I wish that they had done something quite a bit bigger, to be honest. I wish they had targeted more of a Voyager class, just up, you know, blown up the mold a little bit. So, I don't know, what do you guys think? Is anybody excited for this one? Any Monster Hunter fans? I do like Monster Hunter, but I'm not a huge fan. This would be one that if I saw it for a good price, I'd probably add to my Prime collection. But yeah, it's something different. I see we got Giovanni Unicorn in here saying hi. Good to see you in here, as well as Decepticon's Den saying, I think I've only seen the Kickstarter for the 40th edition card set. And you know, I didn't have that in my docket, but let's take a look at that. So I know I did see it last week that they were doing that, and this I did see amongst friends. A lot of the friends that I'm going to TF Con with have been excited about this set, but I hadn't looked into it too much. So let's take a look and see what's going on with that. So this is currently got 24 days to go over on Kickstarter. This is the 40th anniversary limited edition trading card set. And wow, they have 759 backers, raising $192,543. So they are very close to their goal. Let's take a look at this video and see what's up with it.
Rollout. It's the 40th anniversary of the Transformers, and we're celebrating 4 decades of robots in the sky with a massive trading card set. Transformers 40th anniversary trading cards feature art from early G1 characters and concepts to the newest iterations. This card set has it all. Limited edition subsets, autographs, original art sketch cards, and more. We've created the ultimate trading card celebration set to complete your Transformers collection. You can get special super limited deluxe card packs, or boxes of traditional card packs, or even extremely limited collectible subsets that are going to be impossible to find. We have autographed cards by voice actors and one of the original architects of the Transformers comics, Bob Budiansky, that are incredible collectibles. Check out all of the amazing options here on Kickstarter and help us to unlock some out-of-this-world stretch goals exclusive to Transformers collectors here on the platform. This is the Transformers collectible you've been waiting for.
All right. Well, that's a pretty cool video they put together. What is the... I don't like doing this stuff in real time. I normally like to come in informed, but this is pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, here are your estimated costs for backing. I have to look into this a little bit more, but that's pretty cool that they've been backed or nearly backed that quickly. So I'll look more into this, and we'll do some pulse checks. Oh, actually, wow, Junkyard Crafts Bill's coming in saying this actually funded within minutes. Oh, wow. Okay, so I was far off. I missed a decimal point. I feel like an idiot now. The goal was 19,840. So they have wow, they have surpassed that by more than 10 times the amount. That is awesome. So wow, good on those guys. But I'll be keeping an eye on this one. I might back it. I don't know. I should have seen here funded in minutes. But being honest, this one wasn't really on my radar. But now it is. Cool to see. And I'm kind of curious whether those are actual autographs or if they're just doing like what they used to do for you know, cards back in the day. All right, moving on. Let's take a look at something a little bit different here. Blockies. Is anybody following blockies? I know a lot of friends love blockies. And find my tab here. Here we are. So blockies, they are like kind of like these quick build model kits similar to YOLO Park. They have a lot of you know, a lot of the same construction, but they're very effective in creating the characters, and they're also super cheap. And if you don't know what YOLO Park are, they are pre-painted model kits, pre-snipped. You pop them together. Very similar concept to Bionicle. And there are some new blockies coming, and it seems like maybe blockies are trying more and more to compete with YOLO Park. So they announced a few new things. They announced an Action Edition G1 Megatron, which is an 18-centimeter tall model kit, bigger than any other blockies line. Although, is it bigger than that Prime? Because they did come out with a larger Prime, with more parts, details, and a light effect. I know the Prime had a light effect. And yeah, I have not touched any of the blockies yet either, though. Hopefully I'll get to see some at TF Con. They're doing a Galaxy G1 Wheeljack and IDW Megatron, which are smaller than an Action Edition scale. They're easier to build, and almost all the parts come pre-painted and ready to assemble. And then Classic Class Transformers 1, Bumblebee, and Starscream. So we get a look at these here. There's Megatron, and he looks very similar to the YOLO Park. What's interesting about this render, too, is the fingers. I don't know if he's actually going to have articulated fingers or not, but it looks there like they're all on ball joints if you look close. Then you get the Transformers 1 Bumblebee and Starscream, as well as I know that they're doing, interestingly enough, vehicle mode blockies. You see Alita and D16 there. And then there's the IDW Autobot Megatron and the Wheeljack. So yeah, definitely a company to look out for. I feel like if they had these in stores in you know, blind bags, because that's kind of how these come from, like what I've seen from friends that got them. Like there's one character per case, and there's a chance to get a chase figure. Yeah, they're neat little desk bots and neat little you know, if you just want to have like a little robot to mess with. I mean, I don't go into an office anymore. I have the luxury of working from home, but if I did have an office, I would love having some of these guys lined across the desk. Got Rodimus Primal in here. Good to see you in here. Saying Bob Weeb Ground on Weeb Nitty Bong. Universal greeting. And then we've also got Decepticons Den coming in saying, I wish blockies offered a separate solid alt mode with their model figures. My Transformers don't have to transform, but I do want an alt mode too in some form. Yeah, and it's interesting because they did those for the Dinobots, if I'm not mistaken. So it would be cool to see if they did that, or if you could parts form the transformations, if they could figure a way to do that. That would be pretty cool. You know, definitely with a lot of the G1 characters, they could do it. So, granted, it would increase the price quite a bit. But yeah, hoping to see some blockies at TF Con. Get hands on with them. I don't think I'll buy any, but you know, still just want to check them out. Now let's get into our third-party stuff, because we've got a lot of cool third-party stuff. If you saw the thumbnail, you know I'm going to be talking about the thing that everybody's been talking about today. We're saving that for last. So let's get into Magic Square first. So Magic Square is doing one of the smartest things I think I've seen any third party do. You take a successful Legends scale and you basically reuse that engineering and you blow them up, because KO companies have been doing this for years. They'll take a figure, they'll make it bigger, they'll make it to masterpiece scale or larger, or its own unique scale. Sometimes they'll re-engineer it a little bit. This is exactly what Magic Square is doing. So their first one is already out. They did Brawl first, and now they're doing their Blast Off. And I think of all of the third-party masterpiece scale Blast Offs, this is the best looking one. And you can see here, I'm sure they're going to have both face options. They're going with that visor look there with the I guess that's more the animation era one. And this guy is just looking absolutely sick. The colors look dead on. The alt mode looks dead on. I'm guessing they're using a different type of plastic here. That's why the paint isn't matched, because they probably want those panels to be a little bit more durable. And we get I mean, this is the legend scale one, so don't be fooled. This is not the MP scale, but it's going to look just like this. You're going to get tune accuracy. The best part is the pricing on these guys. Like, I ordered Brawl directly from Magic Square. It was $100. And yeah, they are not expensive for what you get. They are like Zeta pricing. So, and on top of all that, you get the combiner parts. They're not doing the fans toys thing to you. You know, they are just giving you everything you need. You're not paying an arm and a leg. Well, but you are paying for arms and legs. So how about that? But still, I think this looks to be the best looking masterpiece scale Bruticus. I mean, granted, that's the legend scale one, but just having transformed that Brawl, it's made well, it's cheap, it's got all the parts you need, and it's fun. It is fun to transform. That's my biggest. Look, I have every mold Fans Toys has ever put out, but they look great, but they're not fun. The Magic Square stuff, a lot of fun. And we got TF Hustler joining, and we also have Diana Francisco coming in. Good to see you in here, Diana. And let's keep it moving. Let's talk about some more third-party stuff. So I'm going to actually shout out a local company that's local to us here in Maryland, and I've actually bought from them before. My understanding is this is a husband and wife duo. They are very good at 3D printing. You know, not to discredit friends like Firetox and Larkin and Jungan Craftables, but these two, they put out some really good add-on kits. They're priced really well. Their customer service is great. They've got a good presence in the community. This is Icon 3D Labs. And, you know, it's funny. I just put down Fans Toys a little bit. And this isn't going to be one for me because I'm not doing their Superion in combined mode. They're just all the individual aerial bots on my shelf. But this is cool. They actually are doing a cartoon emblem for Ethereon. And I actually do have their emblems for the MMC. Well, actually, I think it's... Yeah, I think it's the MMC Onslaught that I have their emblem for, and I think I have their Jetfire, and I definitely have not Robot Paradise, Acoustic Wave, and Acoustic. Well, what happened to my camera here? Restream issues. If it's not StreamYard, it's something else. Let's get this pulled back up here. There we are. So I have their Soundwave and Sound Blaster chest. Really, really, really high quality stuff that they put out. And I think this is just an adhesive backed print. So it's probably going to be just a few bucks. They're going to have it probably on their table at TF Con. But they do really, really well done prints. And they're hand painted too. So when you get that, it's going to be printed probably in white. And they're probably going to have, they probably are going to be painting the white and the red on there. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't checked out their site, they do more. They also do NECA accessories. They did a fix kit for the Gargoyles wings. Insane stuff like this kit for legend scale figures. So you can actually have a little command center for your legend scale figures, make your own dioramas. But just insanely good stuff. So looking forward to talking to those folks at TF Con this year. And maybe if you guys are interested, maybe I'll do a little interview with them. Maybe that, I mean, one, local business, and two, be curious to see if they'd be interested in coming on for an interview. If you guys are interested, that, or, you know, maybe we'll sit down and vlog with them, I think would be cool. Next up, Fans Hobby, one of my favorite third-party companies in the business. They've got their Metal Hawk working. I like what they're saying here. Give this man some shells. If you don't know, Metal Hawk is a pretender. They were smaller transformers that were actually disguised in human shells. So this is just the prototype of their Metal Hawk. And we go over to their main Twitter page. They're having fun with it. He does not come with the shell. He's just going to be the core bot that transforms into a jet mode. But, you know, I like what they've done with the spare parts here. I'm guessing that they're, well, actually, wait, is this armor? Oh, crap. So maybe this is how they're doing it. They're just going to have armor pieces that fit over them. I stand corrected. Yeah, you can see it. There's the face. Well, crap. That's a cool solution. I thought that they had just staged this picture where they just took spare parts to make it look like, you know, the shell had come off. But no, they are actually doing full-on armor for him. All right, well, shut up and take my money. I can't wait to have this guy on my MP shelf. So, yeah, they are going that armor route. So that's very smart on them. I'm surprised nobody's done that for the legacy one. And then we scroll down a little bit. They are getting very close to releasing their tidal wave. So, yeah. Fans Hobby Tidal Wave has been one of my most anticipated figures of the year, and this thing's just looking so sick. I think anybody that's been collecting their Armada stuff, especially their MP scale Armada stuff, this has been like for so many people their most hyped figure. We get some size comparisons. This is actually significantly smaller than the Titan class one, and here he is alongside Naval Commander and Mig Tyranno. So, yeah, I mean, he's still very tall, but looking really good, especially painted up in those colors. So, I'm going to be really excited to add this guy to my Armada collection here. Junkie on Grass Bill saying, "Can't wait to see this at your place." Yes, we will have to. We'll have to have another little local meetup over here. I need people to. I don't drink beer anymore. I need people to come and drink all of my beer. Empty out that mini fridge so I can just. Do they have combined pictures? They don't. But I'm just hoping. I'm hoping the one hope I have. No QC issues. Doesn't look like he's using any transparent plastic other than the eyes, but their Jetfire. The transparent plastic on the heels, yeah, does not give you the warm and fuzzies, and I'm worried about the longevity. That's like the one figure from Fans Hobby I got that I just don't really mess with because I'm waiting for them to say, hey, we have replacement parts. It would be nice if they were putting the replacement parts in with him, but no word on that yet. No word on any replacement parts for him for that figure, period. We'll get to our final couple of stories here. Next to last comes from Dreamstar Toys. So Dreamstar, they, if you don't know, do very stylized takes on G1 characters. They had a Superion, which was done. It was really made to look like it was a live action movie one, but in keeping with G1 aesthetics. Very stylized. And they're doing a Devastator now. So if you're not into the heavy tune designs, here's your option. Vigorous Ares and Load Fighter. So they're Scrapper and oh my god, why am I blanking on Long Haul's name? They're doing these very stylized takes. This comes from Weibo, by the way. We get a look at Scrapper here, who we've seen before. We zoom out just a taste. And we get a look at the torso for their Devastator. And again, very stylized. This reminds me of like early third party. I saw a Digibash online, but it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best Digibash, trying to give it some color. That's a good looking vehicle mode, I'll give it that. But you know, they're trying to do very modern takes on these characters. But you know, options exist. Options are good. Just this set's not for me though. I do hope to see that Superion on display because it looks really impressive from what I've seen. So I'm hoping somebody has it on a table. Heard it's not fun to transform. Same thing with like the Kang Toys stuff. But I imagine the people that are collecting this, when they get all those big stylized combiners together, it's going to be a good display. And our last story to cover for the evening before we wrap stuff up, this is a figure that I knew somebody was doing. I didn't know the pedigree of it until today. And that is the Unique Toys Optimus Prime. So this is their Justice Leader. And this thing just looks sick. So Unique Toys, they're like top tier when it comes to doing the third-party movie masterpiece figures. These figures look super complex, but most of the time they're an absolute treat to transform. They do some of the most clever and intuitive engineering to create highly articulated and complex looking robots. Now, look, I'm not the biggest fan of the Bay movies at all. In fact, the only Bay movie I find tolerable is the 2007 movie. That being said, I do like the designs have oddly grown on me quite a bit. And that's like why I don't have any need or desire for like Kang or the Dreamstar stuff, because I have this stuff. But as a big Optimus Prime guy, this is the best looking original trilogy Bay Prime I've ever seen, period. This one also comes with replacement abs, so you could make him the Dark of the Moon Prime if you wanted. You could make him the Revenge of the Fallen / 2007 Prime if you wanted. I will not be shocked if Unique Toys in the next year says, hey, we're doing a Jetfire. This back, look at how clean this back is. They actually got the wheels right. So in the movie, his wheels kind of like opened up a bit and had like these clips around the wheels. So you can see the wheels on his thigh there. There is no back kibble whatsoever. On that original MPM, they basically re-engineered that old Leader Class toy. But there's no, like, you would not know that this transforms into a truck just looking at this. I mean, you kind of get an idea that it turns into something, but you would think that this is a statue or, you know, a very, you know, very elaborate non-transforming figure like 3-0 puts out. And Jack of all casuals, this is probably going to come in at like around the $100 to $150 mark, depending on where you buy it, which is the other insane thing. So they're detailing here hand articulation, wrist articulation. You know, this is just a really, really good looking bot all around. I'm so excited. Comes with the Matrix. They don't show any swords or the guns, but I won't be shocked if you know, those are included. Unique Toys typically doesn't skip out on the essential accessories. But this truck mode, it's so clean. Like, there's nothing about this truck mode that makes it look like it's going to turn into that. You'd think that there'd be kibble on it going from this to this. I think it's going to be a lot like, I think the transformation is going to be very similar to their Age of Extinction Prime. Very similar. Where that thing basically just kind of flipped inside out and folded up on itself. And in the words of the late, great Billy Mays, but wait, there's more. Because they also have a video of this guy in action. And let me make sure I have the right one. There we go. So we actually get to see that this guy is real. There's a resin prototype of him. Let's kill that audio there. But yeah, we got a resin prototype here. I don't know why it's getting stuck on itself, but they're doing a full 360. You can see this thing is actually far along. So I wouldn't be shocked if this figure isn't out next year. And to just kind of illustrate how much better this looks from the original Masterpiece. Now, you got to cut the Masterpiece a little bit of slack because that original MP figure came out over 7 years ago. So, you know, a lot's changed in that space. A lot has changed when it comes to, you know, engineering for these figures. And I did a side-by-side comparison of the two. And let's go ahead and we'll zoom in on this. So there's the Unique Toys offering, and this photo, courtesy of 60, does amazing photography. You should give him a follow if you don't already. Just really illustrates just how far they've come in terms of sculpting. Now, granted, this is an official product on the right, and that's a third-party one. and this on the right is based on a mold that came out in 2009. So there have been leaps and bounds in engineering and tricks and you know, different little things that these companies have shared engineering wise, that little engineering tricks. But still, this is just a night and day difference. I cannot wait to have the Unique Toys one on my shelf. Now, I'm not going to get rid of my MPM by any means. I love my MPM figure. It's got a little bit of history to it at this point. And, you know, I remember when I got the thing. He's probably going to go in truck mode, though, to be honest with you. And he's probably going to be in truck mode in front of the you know, Unique Toys one in robot mode. Pull it up one more time since StreamYard, or it's not StreamYard, Restream doesn't like playing ball with me tonight. But yeah, that's just such a sick looking Optimus Prime. Even if you don't like the Bay movies, that design has aged really well, and I can't wait to see how that's painted up. Paint is not Unique Toys' strong suit, though, so I am curious to see how it works out for them. But what do you guys think? What are you excited about? I see Decepticons Dead gave me a sub. I really appreciate it. I appreciate if you could be a friend and tell a friend that I'm out here talking Transformers. I'm going to be doing this every Tuesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, going live for an hour. Might have, you know, depending on how much news there is, we might do more discussion-based things. And maybe bring some friends in. I've been talking to Deluxe about going on his channel. Hopefully we can work something out early next week. But I want to bring some guests on here too to join me in talking news. So let me know what you thought about this episode. I apologize for the technical hiccups out the gate, but you know, again, using a new streaming service and getting set up solo, you know, and being a little rusty. Granted, I did do figure action for 7 years, and you would think that I'd know what I'm doing there, but you know, new back end, new learning curve. But I had a lot of fun here talking to you all tonight on the solo stream. So if you're watching me on a replay, again, let me know what you're excited about. Let me know what you enjoyed from this episode. Let me know if you want to see me cover anything else. I'm not just going to be doing toys. We're going to be talking about movies, TV shows, video games, anything in the world of Transformers. It's going to be talked about here on 0 Hour. So I'll see you all next Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern. If you don't mind, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, because I don't have an upload schedule for my vlogs yet. So you're going to want to stay in the loop if you're interested in seeing those. And I'll see you on the next one. So be a friend, tell a friend, and come back next week. Can't wait to see you.